I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to fix this camera. If I turn it this way, I look like I'm looking this way. If I turn it this way, you know what I mean? It's very... Oh. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna make a very detailed Douyin tutorial. I'm gonna show you guys everything that I do. I'm not gonna try to skip any parts. I want you guys to see every single step that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put on my headband. I haven't plucked my eyebrows, so I'm gonna need to do that. It doesn't look that bad, but when I go close, you can see. Yeah, first we're gonna clean our face. I have some cotton pads, and I don't like to just put this on the cotton pad and clean it. I like to wet the cotton pad first. I don't know why, I just don't. I hate my face feeling sticky, and I feel like if I don't wet the cotton pad first, it's gonna feel quite sticky on my face. So I have my water. Got my cotton pads wet, and I'm going to in this micellar water. The reason I'm making this tutorial is because a lot of people on TikTok and other places, they always want to stop touching the mic, bro. Always want to know how I do the specific parts of my face, so I'm just gonna show everything. So my face is like dry. Let's like zoom in so you guys can see. Oh, hold on. My eyebrows, if you can see properly, they grow like all the way down here and so and under here too.
See, that's the problem right there. What is that? The topinator. See, the topinator hooked up to the motor. The motor ain't pushing enough pressure out for the gas pedal.
Some of them are blonde, so you can't really see. You can see my hair, as I said before, my hair grows like all the way down here. So I have to shave it to this point. As you can see where I shaved it, like here. Hairs can still get out of place because of how long my hairs are. I have to like cut them with the scissors now. I don't really care about accidentally taking too much off because they're gonna grow back in like 2 days anyways. I'm just gonna clean up here. Clean it. And there we go. Now we're going to prime our face. Are you really finished? Like for real? Oh, no. I think everyone knows by now, when you're putting on makeup, you have to prime your face first. It doesn't matter if you have oily skin or dry skin. There's something for everybody's skin. Like this. Setting into the skin. Don't just put the product on. Don't just put the product on right after you put the primer on. Now we're going to start. We're going to conceal. This is the LA Girl Pro. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is the only concealer I'm using for now. Very cheap and very effective. Put it on my hand first. Oh, see? In the places I want to conceal. And I have this little, like, very dark spot on the tip of my nose here. So we're just going to put it there. And also here. I'm very hairy, so I have to do here. And on my chin, even though I don't have anything on my chin, I just like putting it on my chin. And we're gonna put a little bit on our eyebrows. Even though it doesn't matter, it's gonna show through anywhere. What is wrong with my speech? I realize I left my forehead alone is because I don't really mind if a little bit of my skin is showing through my foundation. We're gonna let this dry a little bit before we pat it in. I cannot find my tiny little sponge right now, so I'm just gonna like pinch this, use it like I did, you know, back then. Like back then, I mean like 2 months ago. Just tap it in, do not drag it. Tap it in place because we're concealing right now, not brightening or anything. Nose. The chin. I look crazy right now. If you have setting spray, this is where you spray, lock it in. But all I have is my mirror, so I'm just going to use that to fan it dry. I'm going to put on our foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. The only foundation I will be using ever in my life unless someone sends me PR and sends me another one. Not gonna switch because this is good. I only use like that much. It's very spreadable. Where's my brush? You don't have to use a brush or anything to put your foundation on. I used to just use my finger. I really like using this brush because it makes me feel professional and all that. Take the remaining that's on our hand, and then we're gonna start slapping our face like this. I like to do this to get the corner of my nose, like so. Sometimes you have to look up like this. And once again, classic me, I forgot to put in contact lenses. A lot of people are like, oh, why you gotta put contacts in? I think your eyes look fine the way they are. Yes, my eyes are very pretty. I already know that. Contacts enhance the look. They make your eyes bigger. If you're wearing like purple makeup, you put purple contacts in. It just looks cute, okay? Not only because you hate your eyes. Come on, guys. I'm gonna try to put in these nice kind of glowy ones. These are from TTDI. I can't remember the names right now, but I'll put them up on the screen. Now we are going to brighten. We're gonna take the same concealer. I should silence y'all. Take the same concealer, and I'm just going to dot it in areas that I want to brighten, not conceal anything. So now we're gonna put some on the nose, not too much. Chin again. We're gonna put some here. Let's leave that to get a little bit dry. We're gonna do our eyebrow. This is the You Can Be Pretty All Set palette. And lately I have been using this color to do my eyebrows. Follow where my natural wash is. We're just gonna fill it in just a little bit. This nice faded brown kind of vibe. When you're doing a brow, in my opinion, start from the end. So you make your tail. Work your way up, because I do not like a brow that is just completely blunt, just one solid color. So I like mine to be a bit gradient. Hello, it's voiceover Mori. My mic just died. Here, as you can see, I'm just carving out my brows and trying to highlight my forehead. Not too much, just a little bit. You don't need much to do this. So when it comes to blending, it takes a bit of practice, but you will get it right eventually. I'm just tapping in place and just slightly moving it around because I don't want it to look streaky or patchy. So these are what I will be using to set my face. So I have the She Glam Blur in a Bottle setting powder in the shade Banana. I really like this setting powder because it's super loose and it has a lot in the bottle, and a little goes a long way, so it lasts very long. I also have my You Can Be pressed translucent powder, and I have this giant puff. I have the triangular shaped She Glam puff and also a brush. The first thing we're going to do is set our under eyes with the translucent pressed powder and the brush. I had to take this thing off my head because it was cutting circulation to my brain. The reason we're setting with these first is to minimize the possibility of a creasing under the eyes. I love going in with the puff and just slopping the powder all over my face. So when I do this, it just prevents my under eye from creasing when I'm doing all of that. I'm putting the powder on the cover of the translucent powder because I don't have anything else to put it on. And I'm just setting my under eyes. I'm not really baking it. It just looks like I'm baking it, but I'm not. And this is where I use my giant puff to slap the powder all over my face. I know it looks really white, but I'm just going to use the brush to brush all of the excess away so it doesn't look that white anymore. The blushes that I'll be using are from the same You Can Be palette that I use for my eyeshadow, and this is the brush that I'm going to use. Whenever I do my makeup, I like to keep the blush in the center of my face. Especially when I'm doing Douyin, I just like to keep the blush at the center of my cheeks. And I also like to put a little bit directly under my eyes as well. Also on my nose and chin. For nose contour, I use these two brushes, this flat curved brush and this tiny brush right here. As for the color, I like to use this brown one and this darker brownish red kind of color. Lightly shading with the light brown to try to get the curves of my nose. I'm gonna put a little explanation right here. So the bulb of our nose is complete, so now we're going to go to our nose bridge, and I like to just put a little contour between my eyes and my nose bridge, if that makes sense. Just look, you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to use the reddish brown to sharpen the nose. We're basically just following what we did before, but we're just not blending it out as much. Guys, Mooney has come to visit. I know he always looks like he doesn't want to be on Earth anymore, but I promise that is not the case. And recently my brother's cat has come to live with us. This is Vi. His name is Vi because my brother thought it was a girl even though I said it was a boy. So now I have two cats and they're both orange. Anyways, back to the makeup. I normally just put this color on my finger and dab it on my nose. I don't know, I just like using my finger for this part. Before I put on eyeshadow, I must prime my eyes, and I'm using the LA Girl Pro Primer. It creases a lot and I don't know how to make it stop creasing, and that's the only downside to it. I'm going to take this brush to be more precise to get the inner corner of my eyes, because highlighting this part of your eyes really does give a huge difference to the look. I'm dragging it downwards to highlight below this part of the eyes as well, and you're going to see why in a minute. I'm using my hands to clean the brush so that I can get it a bit smoother. And I'm using my finger to blend the rest of it. Now I'm gonna set it with this nude color right here. I just love the brightening effect that this technique has. She's using the girl palette again. Yes, I am. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. I'm using this gray to shade the very end of my eyelid. And it's better to lightly tap at this part because you don't want it to look streaky and patchy and weird. Then I'm using my finger to apply the blue eyeshadow to my lid, just to the center. I don't know why I like using my finger for certain parts of my makeup. It just makes it look better in my opinion. Then I'm darkening the gray with more gray to blend it in. The eyeshadow is already starting to come together, so I'm just going to try to blend everything as well as I can. Now I'm using this flat brush to get these precise corners of my eyes. You can see the eyeshadow primer creasing. Oh my gosh. Now I'm using that gray again to shade the bottom of my eyes to try and create a shape. You're gonna see. I don't know how to explain this part. I never know how to explain this part. Now that I have a shape, even though it looks kind of wonky, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna draw my Aegyo-sal now. And I'm only using this darker brown color to do the Aegyo-sal, even though it looks kind of weird right now. Don't worry about it. And I'm gonna put a lot of sparkles on my eyelid to make it look much cuter. And I thought my phone was recording, but it wasn't. So I'm just gonna show you how I drew this on the other eye. This kind of shape isn't all too different from how I usually show you guys to do it, so I'm not gonna say much. Make sure you try your best to put eyeliner at the top of your lid as well, and try your best not to make it touch the eyeshadow. This part is kind of hard to do, but once you practice, you'll get it right every time. I'm going to use this brown shade to contour around my fake Aegyo-sal so that it doesn't look as fake. All I'm doing is creating some dimension. Now we're going to highlight it so that it pops off a bit more. Now you don't have to do this, but it's best for you to also highlight the bottom of the Aegyo-sal, especially if you created a fake one. I'm adding more sparkles because you can never have too many sparkles. Now I'm just gonna try my best to show you guys how I do my eyelashes, and I have a little thing here that I'm gonna try to explain. The best way to draw eyelashes on is by creating these little Y kind of thingies and then adding more thinner ones in between. So I'm gonna try to show you how to do it on an actual person. This is an influencer from Instagram. This is her ID right here. I chose her because she doesn't have any bottom lashes on at the moment. So first we're going to create some simple lines that curve around the Aegyo-sal like so. The more realistic way to do it is that the longer lines are at the end of the eyes and the smaller ones are at the front. Now we're going to turn them into Ys. So we just add these tinier lines that connect to the original lines. And you only have to make these smaller lines if you want the lashes to be fuller. And you can fill them in to make them darker. And there you go. That's the best I can do to try and show you guys how to do lower lashes. All you have to do is practice. I'm just putting on some mascara so that when I put on the false lashes, it blends well. And I think it looks cuter when I do the bottom lashes as well. But only the ones at the front because I already made a fake bottom lashes at the end of my eye. Now, this is how I do my lips. I just take any color of eyeshadow that I prefer and then I put the eyeshadow at my cupid's bow to create like a shadow. And then I blend it down to my lips. I also like to use my brown pencil to create some shadows at the corner of my lips as well, because I don't think it looks as good without it. These are the manga lashes that I use for every Douyin look, well, most of the time anyways. I just went on a hunt for my lash glue. I just realized that my mic was off the entire time. I used to put my lashes on. I put the glue on my eyelid first, because my lashes are very curled. All the way into the eyeliner here. Oh my gosh. I'm just touching my eyelashes quick. Color right here. I'm gonna put it in my inner corner to make it pop a bit more. I had to switch mics. Hopefully this one doesn't die too. I don't even remember charging this. I'm gonna use some clear gloss. Getting some pink lip gloss. Not too much. Now it is time for the wig. Get can't with wigs. I can't. My mic is bald. His wig back on. Anyways, guys, this is the final look. Let me know what you guys think. Sometimes I go on Pinterest and I'm like, let me see what look I should try and do today. And then I put the tablet in front of me with the look. And I just end up not doing the look that I was staring at the entire time. I always go my own way. I don't know why I can't follow instructions. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't look like I am. Should I test out with look with different? Okay, this is why you should put your contacts in. Is this on? Okay, this is why you should put your contacts in before you do your makeup. Actually, I actually like it better with these ones. Oh my gosh, stop. This is the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. My next video will be a Q&A, hopefully. I want to hurry up and get the white face paint so that I can do the goth makeup because I really want to do that. I'm really excited for that. Also, let me know if this was helpful in any way, shape, or form. And bye-bye.